chilly this morning, isn't it? It's currently -2 degrees, and I think that milk is expired, so it's one of those mornings. And I know when it gets cold, worries come as well. So hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to show you that you don't have to be a mechanic or mechanically minded to be able to look after your car throughout the winter. I'm going to give you a few tips on things that you should be checking throughout this winter to make your life a bit easier and to save a bit of money. So let's go. It is cold. First thing we're going to check is wiper blades. So what I want you to do is check your blade, this bit here, all the way down for any cracks or anything like peeling. So you can just gently pull it so you can see if it's coming apart from the actual metal side. Mine was brand new, so they should be okay. When you put them back, do it carefully. Now that we check our wiper blades, if your windscreen looks like this in the morning, I definitely recommend you to have a bit of this every morning. It's quite easy to use. Just shake it a bit and then just spray it. What I recommend to do is do a bit in here so you can see out, and then your mirror. As you can see, my headlamp is quite dirty, so another thing that I recommend you to do mostly throughout winter is clean them. I'd say, I don't know, maybe once every 2 weeks. Just get a cloth and a bit of spray cleaner and clean both headlamps. And you can do it as well with your fog lights if you go fog lights at the front. Next thing we're going to check is going to be the fluids under the bonnet. Don't get scared if you don't know about cars. This is something that almost anyone can do. The first thing we're going to check is our washer fluid, and as you can see, my one has a gauge, so I can see how low or how high it is, which it looks like it's kind of like halfway there. It's always good to get this topped up. With your screen wash as well, what you could check is on the bottles, it'll tell you the temperature that they can work at, so it's not gonna get frozen if it's like -5 where you are. So be careful and be mindful, read the bottle, and if you're not sure, just ask someone when you go to the shop. Whenever you're gonna measure any of the levels that we're doing right now, besides the screen wash, because that doesn't really matter, the car has to be cold and you have to be in a flat surface. It can't be on a hill, or it will vary the level that you are reading depending on the position of the car. Okay, you always need to be on a flat surface. The next one is going to be a coolant, which you will have a reservoir. Sometimes it's here, sometimes it's on the other side, depending on the cars. So yeah, as you can see here, it always tells you to look at your owner's manual, and that is because every car has a different, like you can see my one. Let me see if I can actually focus there. Yeah, as you can see, my one is blue, okay, and it has a minimum and a maximum there. Okay, every manufacturer makes these engines differently, or sort of differently. So the block could be cast iron, or it could be aluminum, it could be many other things. I'm not going to get into that because this video is not a video for mechanics. It's a video for a regular person on the road. They just want to check their cars. So what you have to bear in mind, and as I said, if you go your owner's manual, is great because it will tell you there what kind of coolant it needs, what color, and you can go from there. But if you don't, okay, you can check on some stores. They got some pads where you can put your reg and it will tell you which one you need. Okay. Right, so let's say we need to go and buy some coolant. When we go to the shop, we need to make sure that is the right color and as well the right working temperature. Some of them they sold ready mixed. Some of them you have to buy distilled water ideally and mix it with it. For example, this one that I've got here, Okay, as you can see, this one is pink, so it would be not good for this car, but it's good for the other car. Both of them are Subarus, but different years, different engines, so different coolant. Okay, in here, as you can see, it will tell you which coolant it is. Okay, like this one, G30, it tells you here is ready mix. And if we go out the back, and you can see here it says that it will protect your engine until below minus 36 degrees Celsius. Okay, so that's what we want. The next thing we're going to check is our oil, and it's always going to have this sign. Okay, it could be different color, it could be silver, red, green, whatever. So that is your filler cap there, and here's your dipstick. And this is what my dipstick looks like. So it has an L for low, an F for full. Okay, make sure the engine is cold. Pull the dipstick. Okay, get a tissue, rag, whatever you want, clean it, and then we put it back in there, all the way down, pull it back out. And as we can see, my one is a bit closer to the L that we were talking before than to the F. So we are sort of halfway. So what we're gonna do is put a bit of oil in there. Okay, so let's say like me, you measure your oil and it's close to low. Don't freak out, don't go crazy, don't think the engine is gonna blow, you go no more oil in the engine. It doesn't work exactly like that. Between low and full, depending on the car, depending on the amount of oil the car can hold, between low and full, it could be half a liter, 3/4, or a liter. Okay, so it's not that the whole oil is gone. I mean, if it's lower than low, then yes, worry. But otherwise, just go to your shop. If you're gonna buy online, just get the right oil for your engine, which, as I said, on your owner's manual will tell you. And basically we do the same procedure that we did before. We take it out, we clean it, we put it back in, take it out, and see if we are closer to full, if we are on full, or if we need to add a bit more. Okay, next one. The next one is going to be, okay, your power steering fluid. When it comes to power steering fluid, some vehicles have hydraulic like this one, and some of them have electric power steering. If you go electric, you won't have a reservoir. But if you do have hydraulic, all you need to do is check. So you can see here, cold minimum, hot minimum, cold maximum, and hot maximum. So as long as it's in between those parameters, you're going to be okay. Next one is going to be your brake fluid. Your brake fluid, okay, is going to be the same. It's going to be maximum and minimum, and as you can see, it's on maximum, so we're good to go on that. And that should be all for your fluids. Okay, one more thing we're going to check under the bonnet is your battery. Okay, so let me show you. First thing we're going to check with our battery is that it's nice and secure, and second at all that we're going to be checking is how dirty our terminals are. You can see my one is a bit dirty there, and so is this one. So we can clean this quickly, okay, and then with white grease we're going to spray a bit on this connector and a bit on this connector. I know sometimes batteries are a bit scary if you don't know about them, but it's fine. The engine is off, you're not going to be linking them together, so nothing weird is going to happen. What you're going to do is clean here, spray there, clean there, and spray there. And if you go one of them, just put it on, which is a bit more protection on it. Okay, another good thing that we can do with our batteries, check our voltage. So if you or someone that you know has a multimeter on DC power on 20 volts, okay, and then what we do, I'm not even going to be able to do this while holding the camera, but we'll see. Put this in here like that so you can see, red to red and black to black, and it will give us 12 point almost 5. Okay, so that's a good battery. what we can do now is start the engine, okay, and we're going to do the same exact thing. Alright, another thing we're going to check is your tires, and what I want you to do is just quickly, you can run your hand just like that on the wall, okay, so you will notice if there's any cuts or anything like that. Next thing, this is just a point of interest, but if you would like to know how old your tires are, you will find it right here. So what you'll find is 4 numbers. The 2 first ones have the week of the year, and the 2 last ones are the year. So basically these ones were made in week 12 2020. On your tire itself you will find the actual sizes. For example, this one is 205/50 ZR17. Once we know the tire size that we've got in our vehicle, we can go inside and check on the sticker. When it comes to tire pressures, we'll find a sticker normally on the driver's side, and it will tell you the different tire sizes that it comes from factory, the 3 different scenarios depending on your load, and depending on your load, depending how much pressure you need to put in the front tires and in the rear tires. Like this guy comes in different units, so what you can do is just go online and you will find a table that you can convert, for example, kilopascals into psi or into bars, which is normally what you're going to find at your gas station. After we did our checks on the sidewall, what I want you to do is get yourself one of this one, tread gauge, okay. What we're going to do, I got the tire out here for you, so we're going to measure, we put it here on the groove, push down, okay, and then as you can see we got 5 mil left, yeah, okay, but I want you to do it in at least another 2 grooves, okay, and check again, because sometimes what happens is that the tire is overinflated or underinflated, so it might be actually eating more on this side or more in here or more in here. So if we check, for example, 1, 2, 3, if you want to check all of them, that's great. And as well, you can see here on your tires you will have a mark that will let you know when you're getting close to that limit, okay. Another thing for you to always remember is that every time that you pump your tires, they have to be cold. And when I mean cold, I don't mean like low temperature. What I mean is like you shouldn't be driving for an hour and then try to pump your tires, because that air is going to get hot, okay? So what I mean is that if you're going to pump your tires, for example, this morning, try to go somewhere local, somewhere that you don't have to drive too long. If like most of us, when you go to work in the morning, your car is frozen and sometimes it's a bit hard to open that door, I'm going to give you a little trick to make that a lot easier. What you're going to do is buy some silicone spray, and what we're going to do, spray on a rag, okay, and then we're going to go all alongside the rubber itself, all the way and all the way down and up as well, okay, and on the actual door itself, okay, all the way around. Silicone spraying is hydrophobic, which means that it repels water. So at the same time that you're going to keep your rubber lubricated, and this is something that you can do all year round, so when it gets too hot it won't crack, what it will do is repel the water, which in the morning when it's really cold, like now, like it's -2 still, okay, you're going to be able to actually open your door without any sort of problem. It's not going to get stuck, it's not going to rip like my one here. Okay, so it's going to make it a lot easier for you in the morning, because come on, who wants to be at 6 in the morning dealing with rubber, dealing with doors that they don't open? It's just going to make your day a lot harder, and you don't want that early in the morning. So yeah, there you have it. That's a really nice trick, and trust me, I do use it and it makes a difference. Another thing that happens to all of us, for example, in the morning, okay, I clean my one, but in the morning, let's say like right now, and you can see that it's started to actually get a bit misty, you put your blowers on, okay, so you go and put them on. We go down to the front demister, and then we put our temperature. I mean, if it's cold, this won't do much, but I give you a good trick. So the trick is, some cars do them automatically, some cars don't. So what you do is put your aircon on, okay, while you actually demisting your front windscreen. Well, using your aircon while it's misting the front windscreen, it will do is absorb that humidity around the vehicle, and it will help you to dry and to clear the front windscreen a lot faster. Another thing that we can do since we're inside the vehicle is put our lights on one by one, just to check that they all work. And another thing that you can do is ask someone to step outside and to check the front and rear lights as you put them on. And I think this is it for this video. I hope it helps you, and if there's anything else that you would like me to talk about, anything that you got concerned, just leave a comment down below. I'll help as much as I can. And for those of you wondering if that's the same coffee, no, it's different. The milk was definitely expired, so I made a new one, and that's basically it for today. I know I've been absent for the last about 3 weeks now, I think it's been, but yeah, it's been freezing, it's been hard to make videos, and that's why I have a massive cold, and that just carry on. So yeah, no excuses. I got a few more videos coming for the next few weeks, so we are back on track. I hope you stay tuned for that, and yeah, thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing if you do, and I'll see you very shortly. My ass is freezing now.